Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hello. Hello, San Diego Comic-Con. Hello. How are you? Fantastic. Thank you for coming to the Ripley's panel. There are other panels you can go to. It's like airlines. Yes, you have other choices. But there are a lot of boring panels here. You know which ones I'm talking about. You've been there. You've suffered through them. This is not that panel. This is not that panel. No, this is not your father's panel with Chewbacca. No, it's not. I'm sure those were great panels, though. Great panels.
Was that hot in the suit?
Well, yes, it was quite hot in the suit.
Can you do the Wookiee yell?
Actually, I don't make the noise a technician does.
All right, we had that panel. We had that panel. Now, Ripley's is the type of thing, it's one thing to show you on a screen with all the edits and the cuts and making it all flashy. Well, we're going to bring the real people out to see in real time. That's what matters. So I'm going to intro a little clip to give you a little taste of Ripley's. Believe it? Or not. Welcome to Extraordinary, believe it or not.
Are you ready?
What you're about to witness is far beyond our normal powers of observation.
Are you ready?
I feel that I have been given this talent and I get to share it with the world.
For over 100 years, Ripley's travels the globe seeking those who defy limits.
I just got this inner feeling telling me to do it, and I do it.
You ready?
I wanted something a little bit more extreme.
That's why we do it, to push past that fear and to not let it control us.
People just don't think that humans should be able to do the things that I'm doing.
Bizarre, awe-inspiring, peculiar. Call it what you want. On Ripley's, believe it or not. Let's go. All right. Without further ado, let us please meet our panelists. First up, this bionic actress is helping people with disabilities get representation in front of the camera, with roles in films like Hunger Games, Mockingjay Part 1, and The Accountant with the studly Ben Affleck. This self-proclaimed cyborg rocks one of the most advanced prosthetics in the world. Please welcome Angel Guifria. Come on down. Okay, yeah, that's good. Thank you.
I think it might be stuck.
Oh, dear God. Okay. Thank you. Welcome, welcome. A lot of stunts with Ripley's features mind over matter, really understanding your body and overcoming those natural instincts. In this case, our next panelist insists, yes, it's mind over matter. If you're out of your mind, it doesn't matter. With a skull 2 times thicker than the average human, using it to bend steel bars, snap baseball bats in half, and nails into wood, meet John Hammerhead Ferraro. Come on now. No, get that head away from me. Sit down wherever. To keep us all in check on the 100 years of Ripley history that came before our Travel Channel show, Ripley's.com editor-in-chief, YouTube host, producer of our new series, Sabrina Seek. Come on down. She will be our resident expert and historian of the Ripley's brand. Last but certainly not least, one of the most remarkable men in the entertainment industry, a key figure in the Hell's a Poppin' Sideshow review. He balances on bowling balls, throws knives, walks on flaming glass, all with hands, the hands he walks on every day. Meet half man, all groovy dude, Shorty Dangerously. Yeah. He's going all the way up. Fix the mic.
All the way up?
Boom. Yeah. Welcome, Shorty. Welcome. Well, we have some people who have overcome extraordinary odds, who have honed certain skills that they didn't know they maybe had. But this isn't quite the first TV show, is it? There's a little bit of a history here.
It's true. We're actually in our 4th iteration of the show. Our very first show started in 1949 with Robert Ripley himself. Actually didn't last too long because on unlucky episode 13, Robert Ripley had a heart attack and 3 days later passed away. Please don't do that, Bruce.
He did that for the sake of the ratings, though. They went up.
It was all for ratings. Well, episode 14 acted as his eulogy, so we had that. But then we moved on to Jack Palance, and I think I certainly remember Jack Palance for...
Jack Palance, yeah, I think because he scared everybody.
Definitely.
He's like, you better believe it, I'll rip your face off. I'm Jack Palance.
Well, I think it was definitely the way he said, believe it or not, and that persona, which I think you've kind of got down too.
Well, we all have our own cadence, but I'll do it if you do it with me. So here's the line. We'll be right back on Ripley's Believe It or Not. And it's all about the pause. All right, say it all together. We'll be right back on Ripley's Believe It or Not. There you go. That's basically it. And I see Dean Cain all the time, because Dean Cain did a version of it as well. But his Superman suit kept poking out. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, well, it's up to you now.
Yeah, that's all right. Let's play a game called Get to Know Our Panelists. So we've got a little clip, I think, of this young man, Shorty Dangerously. Let's see what he is all about here.
Today, in front of hundreds of fans, it's Shorty's hands versus a pile of jagged glass.
What bigger risk to take than my hands and my ability to walk and move? Whatever it takes is what I'm willing to do to get to where I want to be.
If he hits the landing perfectly, he should walk away with just a little pain. But if he's at all unbalanced, his palms and fingers could be shredded.
His hands are the only way of transportation that he has, and you would think that he would be so careful to make sure that he didn't cause injury.
Right before I get ready to walk on stage, that's where I get the body tingles and I feel like the buzz.
But if he doesn't control his jump and damages his hands, his dreams could be over forever.
Make some noise for Shorty Dangerously!
Bada boom. Shorty, is there such a thing as a normal day for you? What is a normal day for you?
Well, that depends, define normal. I mean, to me, that's sitting on the dryer. Normal day for me is when I'm on the road. You get up, you go in the venue, you load in your show, you do your sound check. You get back on the bus, you leave, you go to the next town. That's the long and short of it, I guess you could say.
So you're like Willie Nelson, you're just on the road all the time.
Yeah, 7-10 months out of the year. I'm actually on tour right now. The show is on a break, so I flew out here to do this. I fly back tomorrow, I have a day off, and then I'm in Chicago, so.
Good on you, you're a busy man. What inspired you? What happened? You've got a history of how this all came to be.
Yeah, when I first got involved in Sideshow, one of the performers showed me some YouTube videos of Johnny Eck, the former original, I call him the OG half man. And he walked like me and moved like me, And there was one move that he did, and I kind of looked at it, and I'm like, well, you know, I could probably do that and practice it a little bit. And now that's one of my signature poses, and I'd like to do it right now if you guys don't mind.
No, don't do it. Don't do it. Olympic sport, right there. Very good. Very good. And what was how long did it take you to figure out that you could almost like make a living doing this? I mean, that guy must have been very inspiring.
He was, you know, he was in the movie Freaks with Todd Browning, and he was a fixture as part of Ripley's. Robert Ripley, I believe, called him one of the most remarkable men in the world, that sort of thing. So he kind of inspired me that he could actually make a living in the entertainment business, and I've always wanted to be an entertainer and be famous and be a rock star, so this is as close as I'm gonna get without having to play an instrument, that's for sure.
Very nice. Thank you, Shorty. Thank you for being here today. Next clip we're going to show is Angel. We're going to show a little bit about your story here, your little backstory.
At first glance, Angel Jeffery may look like your average 30-year-old. At second glance, not so much.
I never thought, well, you're just like everybody else, because I'm not.
That's because she comes to play with an arm that's better and stronger than anything Mother Nature could create.
I never had a hand. I'm not replacing anything.
There was a time when a woman with one arm would hide from public view. Today, prosthetic limbs are the stuff of superheroes. Angel was born March 28, 1989, with only half a left arm and not a lot of options.
They were telling me that I would have to put a harness on our little girl that was controlled by a pulley that opened a hook.
But Angel's mother fought for something better, a new kind of limb that was just being tested.
I was able to be fit with a myoelectric prosthesis, which means a muscle-operated prosthesis. There are sensors that are placed within my socket, the part that sits on my residual limb. And when I move the muscles in my residual limb, it allows me to control the hand.
The first time they put that arm on her, and she reached over and picked up a toy. Everybody was crying. It was amazing. It was really amazing.
And it is amazing to this day. So, you know, Angel, I put my kids through college with a rig similar to what you have going on there. I mean, that's the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. Who did the bionics of it? Is there, like, that was a different company way back when, and now it's a new one now?
Right, so there's several companies that are involved. It's really interesting. A lot of these devices have multiple companies involved in it. They're completely modular, so it depends on the person and what you're actually wearing. So, you know, my hand is made by one company, and then I have a wrist rotator that, you know, spins all the way around, made by a completely different company. Same with, you know, the lights.
Yeah, because the wrist rotator company, they don't do business with the other company. They won't talk to each other. No. You should combine all those companies and own a little piece of that, I think.
I'll see what's up, see if they'll be in for it.
And now that you're sort of doing what you're doing and becoming known with that, do they call you up and go, hey, we got a new thing, can we test it out on you?
It sounds just like that,
Yeah.
actually.
Like-
I do occasionally get calls and they'll say, hey, we have something new coming out, would you like to test it? But I've been involved in testing my entire life. I think it's really important for the users, the people who wear these devices.
We have a lot of veterans coming back.
Absolutely.
that,
So veterans, but even like I'm congenital limb difference. All of us want to wear these devices and want them to be really useful. So I did one called the DECA, or the Luke arm, that was through the Department of Defense, which was really cool.
Wow.
So Luke Skywalker, obviously I have my cool lightsaber attachment. It didn't actually look exactly like this, but it was pretty close. So.
Forget it. Forget it. Now, you know, clearly it hasn't made your life the easiest with this, what some would call a disability. But seriously, when people see that when you're walking through an airport, isn't 90% of the reaction, that's badass? I mean, is it not? I don't mean to...
So airport TSA, so...
Oh,
that's
my word.
So
Like, hold it right there, ma'am, hold on.
Wait a second, how many wires? What is that? It's a hand,
Do you
I
have
promise.
laminated cards that show them?
I wish. It's more so I just wait for the reaction when it goes through the x-ray machine and I see them looking and then I see their eyes do this. And then they look up and I'm like, and they're like, oh, okay. But yeah, no, that is the reaction. If you saw the old ones, they were that fleshy color.
Right.
They were made to look like a real arm. And the thing with that is I was born without my left arm. I never had a left hand.
Right.
I had nothing I was trying to make it look like. So kids would see it and they'd immediately be like, you have a fake arm. And I'd be like, I know. I wasn't trying to hide it. But now with these, I know they know that
Everybody
I know
knows.
that
Everybody knows what's going on.
And then I get a lot of, yeah, that's badass. That's what I get a lot of, so it's exciting.
Like, I think you should look across the aisle at some 10-year-old kid who's staring at it and just like crush something. Don't say anything, just crush it, and then just drop it. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get a little background on Mr. John Ferraro. Let's see what his deal is.
A lot of people ask me, is he a little crazy in real life? And I say, no, he's not a little crazy. Strike two! He's a lot crazy.
I love to see people cringe. I just like to excite people.
The Hammerhead, I'll tell you, that name, it suits him. It suits him real well.
I earned that name by having one of the hardest and strongest skulls in the world. I'm a performing strongman and a genetic freak. I'm a cranium crashing, brain bashing, skull smashing son of a bitch from Boston.
That's him,
In a nutshell.
John the Hammerhead. So, okay, before we see anything that you might damage in our presence,
These make me nervous.
when did you know? Like, did little Billy, the neighbor, come up and hit you with a brick and it broke? What happened?
It wasn't little Billy, it was little Joey, my younger brother.
Little Joey.
Yeah. Well, he kind of was mouthing off, you know, from Boston. We do things differently. You know, we got a little tussle. You know, he ran.
It got physical, you said.
Just a little physical tussle. And then he ran and tried to get away from me. And as I chased him up into the house, he slammed we have a big oak door. And I went head first right through that oak door.
You went through the door with your head.
Oh, yeah, I ripped it right off the hinges, cracked that badass right in half. Oh, man. Mom wasn't too happy with me that day, I'll tell you. So, yeah, and then I said, wow, you know, I did my Hulk smash on that. So I said, and it actually developed.
So some kids would see stars. You saw yourself as a star when that
Yeah,
happened.
well, look at it right here. We're right
Forget
here.
about it. Forget about it.
Baby.
But now, does it ever pose a problem with you of tough guys knowing, you know, other Boston guys going, I can take that guy? Like, do they love the concept of trying to headbutt you?
It's funny you said that a few years back. 'Cause I did professional wrestling for about 20, 25 years. They had a $5,000 headbutt challenge, and we took people from all around.
You had a
the country.
headbutt challenge.
Yeah, $5,000. You knocked me on my ass, you get $5,000.
And you would let people headbutt you?
Yeah, didn't win. I won. Yeah.
Oh. Now, have you...
But now we don't do that anymore, you know, liability and all.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, guys.
Unless anyone's willing.
No.
Now, you've seen scans, and I've seen the scans too. Your skull is twice as thick, right?
It's 2.3 times thicker than the average human being's skull. I was an MRI at the Harvard Medical School, the Brigham and Women's Hospital in Boston. And yeah, it's true. It is what it is.
And you feel, even though you've broken like the Empire State Building over your head, that it has had no negative
Well,
impacts?
no, actually, I also had, my brain was tested at the Boston Trauma Unit, the sports medicine, Boston University. They have a sports medicine doctors, and they do all the testing on professional football players and professional boxers and everything. And Chris Nowinski actually, used to be a famous wrestler. Now he works with them, and he tested my brain, and my brain's perfect, no brain damage.
So basically, Tom Brady has had more concussions than you.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Right.
Maybe you should be playing on that team. Huh? Nothing against Tom. Relax. So, Sabrina, they're all amazing people in completely different ways. How do we find these people?
Yeah, so I mean, Robert Ripley himself traveled the world finding these talents and treasures and women and a lot of other things. And we still do that.
He was a collector after all.
He was. But we still do that today, but the internet and social media has really made it a lot easier and people reach out to us a lot, but again, it's a double-edged sword. So all of that's accessible to all of you, and you can see the unbelievable everyday at your fingertips when you're on YouTube or Instagram or social. And it makes us tell you a deeper story. It makes you learn more about Angel's past and hearing from her mother. It makes you see John's, CAT scans and everything and really learn the science behind it. It makes you learn Shorty's history with Johnny X. So it's telling that deeper story that then I think differentiates us.
It's like with a movie. If you don't care about the heroes, why put them in a car crash?
Exactly.
You got to care about them.
Exactly.
So it's good to get to know them a little bit. I think we have a sneak peek, do we?
We do have a sneak peek. I don't know why these bars are here either, but
oh, we have to do something.
I'm kind of terrified by it.
We should probably do that before the sneak peek.
Do you want to? Let's.
Oh well, I think someone needs to see something happen.
I think so
with
too.
Something.
Right.
Yes, please.
It's time to earn the paycheck, bud.
No, seriously. Okay, a lot of professional strongmen and strongmen in general, they like to bend iron bars and they like to bend steel. See, the Hammerhead, he doesn't bend things, he breaks things. Want to see me break some iron bars?
Yes, please break some iron bars.
Should we hide?
I know. Should we be hiding? Are we safe here?
I'll do it over there.
Oh, okay.
Can you see? All right, this one is for Sabrina.
Hey, woo!
It's just so casual.
Since we're on the panel, why don't we go for two? What do you say?
Two.
Two's good? Two's good?
All right. Yeah.
Two's good?
Yeah. They're not gonna say no. Oh, good God. I saw my paycheck flashing before my eyes. Two. Thank you, sir.
That's amazing. You're not even breaking skin or anything. Like, there's no damage here.
Yeah.
The thing I don't like is the noise that it made.
It's a lot.
It was a bonk.
Yeah.
It was a bonk.
Yeah.
I think we've had a demonstration. Let's give a hint of what's coming up.
Yeah, so we air Sundays at 9 o'clock on Travel Channel, and we've got a sneak peek of this Sunday's episode featuring Speedy Cop. You'll see what he does in a second, but he's also driving around San Diego, so you might be able to spot him this weekend.
Very few of our cars are going to be the fastest car on the track. Now, we have had the fastest car on the track that we've built, and that's been the case in a few races. But most of the time, they're just really cool looking. So I started doing these competitions, these races, where creativity was rewarded more than raw performance. And then we go out there and we race the piss out of them. I love to be competitive, and I love to be creative while I'm competing. So this is the best of both worlds.
Jeff's team gets to the track at the same time. A parade of oddities.
When we get to these racetracks and people in the stands see these creations for the first time, they just lose it. Like, they can't believe what they're seeing.
It's very trippy.
That reaction is just priceless. You just watch faces melt. It's great.
Good Lord. Now that's next door.
It is.
Right?
Yeah, at our activation outside at Petco Park, you can see some of our other odd vehicles in the Ripley collection.
I think it's time to officially open it up to insightful questions from all of you for this fantastic panel. So I think we need to hear from you. So you can just shout, whatever. Is there a microphone? Do we have an official? Okay, let's start. Yes, sure. Speedy Cop, come race with you. Not a chance in hell, pal. What? You know, are you a good welder? How do you do this crap? You make it up as you go. Okay, I'll be over there right after the panel. You just wait right there. I'll be right there. All right, yes, over here.
What would be one of your favorite accomplishments?
You're talking to me or people who have actual skill?
Yeah, the panelists.
Talking about me? No, these
everyone.
people. These people. They're opening up to the panel. Your most amazing accomplishment.
Outside of being featured in all the Ripley stuff, which is a huge honor, personally for me, performing at the Wacken Heavy Metal Festival in Germany last year with my troupe, that's a badge I wear with honor. I wear my t-shirt everywhere, and I'm very proud of that. So I would have to say, outside of Ripley's, Wacken Festival in Germany.
Nice, nice. Go right down the line.
Yeah, so I mean, for me, my job is super gratifying. Meeting people like this, it's super inspirational. I mean, I went to dinner with Angel last night and had a dinner party that you would pay for. Like, it's crazy the conversations I have with these people and learning about everybody. It really opens your eyes, and I think that's super cool.
My greatest accomplishment is, the more I think about it, is not killing my daughter's boyfriends. You know, it's difficult sometimes, but, you know.
We appreciate your restraint.
Yeah, you know, because I kind of walk that tightrope between genius and insanity, and so sometimes I fall on the insanity end.
Okay, yeah, we got help.
Yeah.
We got help for that.
Thank you.
Angel.
So I'm an actress, that's what I do, as well as someone who wears a bionic prosthetic arm. And I got to do both those things, utilize my arm in a really cool way. I did a Super Bowl commercial like 2 years ago, so if you saw a girl with a bionic arm shooting a bow and arrow, that was me, and I remember just being there and thinking, like, this is really cool.
Nothing wrong with a Super Bowl ad for an actor either.
But yeah, that was really fun, and I got to use my arm in a really cool way, as well as doing archery, and yeah, it was exciting.
Very good.
Thank
you for your insightful question. Thank you. Yes.
Hello, my name is Scott, and I'm from St. Louis.
Hi, Scott from St. Louis.
I just want to thank Robert Ripley for helping me to read. My parents were trying to get me something to read, and eventually I read a book like The Lord of the Rings, which was considered my Everest. I'm just wondering, have the panel read the books from series 1, or actually from the initial book to series whatever it is right now?
Did you read the books? Shorty, did you read the books?
Whoa,
Did you do your homework, Shorty?
I did not do my homework. I've read through the book that I was in, and also, I mean, hey, who wouldn't, right? And I also read the book from the year before mine because some friends of mine were also in that, and I want to check it out and see that whole thing. But I have not read the entire library of the Ripley's books, so I'm sad to
I'm going to say Sabrina's read the books.
There are so many books. I'm not going to say I've read all the books. I've also written some of the books, so I think that counts as reading them.
That counts a lot, sir. She's written some books.
Even beyond the books, though, we have the Ripley's cartoon, which is actually the longest running syndicated cartoon in history, 100
Good
years,
God.
which
Wow.
is crazy. So we still write that every day, and that's in your local papers and Go Comics. So it's just really kind of getting those reluctant readers to get on board, and why not swallow a nugget of weird to do so?
And
A little weird helps the medicine go down.
I think so.
I do have a brief follow-up. If you have read the books, what is your favorite Ripley, Believe It or Not?
I think you got to take it back to the first one in the 20s by Robert Ripley. I mean, that really started it all.
We're glad that we have a historian on the panel.
I read the books. He got so much fan mail from that. We have photos of his office, like just being stacked and stacked and stacked, and it's what really incited Believe It or Not. People didn't believe it, and they were trying to combat everything he was saying. So I think that first book really set us up.
And then he was invited to do a column, right? William Randolph Hearst.
Yep, by
It's like
Hearst.
your stuff is so popular.
Exactly, and I
Put
mean,
to do a column on my paper.
for sure, and he was traveling, and at that time to travel all around the world and be funded to do that. So even now, I mean, journalists are behind their computer, but Robert Ripley had the skills and went out there and had that backing.
Assisted by Norbert Perlroth, please.
That's right, he was his very first researcher.
Thank you,
I
sir,
like
for
you.
knowing more about Ripley than Ripley. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, sir.
I'm Ash, and I'm from Briscoe County, Jr. My question is for Angel. Angel, with your arm, hi, can you crush anything peculiar? And what, if so, what is the biggest thing that you've crushed? No
I'm going to
shame.
tell you that's the top voted question on Reddit anytime any of my photos end up anywhere. But to answer that in honesty, not with this prosthesis. This one specifically is relatively new, and it has very small motors in it to make it small to fit my hand. Now, the DECA arm, the one that I did wear before, had very large motors, also looked like I was wearing a boxing glove half the time. But just for fun, I would crush a can from the top just to see people's reactions with that one. Thankfully, I don't wear that on a daily basis because I don't want to crush anyone's hand on accident.
Very nice. Thanks, guys.
You know, she's not your little monkey.
Can we
let's go to
see
the next question.
Angel's bionic arm versus Hammerhead's head? Like, let's have Angel
It's very
punch his head.
expensive.
Uncle.
You good?
No mas, no mas. No mas.
Okay, she won.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Yeah, thanks. Just wanted to see it. Hello.
Hi, my name's Faith. The noise that makes is really awesome. I really
The noise
like
that it makes?
Yeah, when she takes
Let's hear
the
it.
hand off. Oh yeah, and those noises too. That's pretty badass. I
But
really
you got
like that.
servos too. Put the.
Yeah,
let's hear, we can hear those servos.
It's actually funny when I'm filming on set and things like that. You'll occasionally have to get wild something
Right, because the
sounds.
sound guy's like, hey, your servos were over your line.
Yeah. So they'll be like wild hand sounds. So we have to get. I don't know if you can hear it.
Oh, hell yeah.
Or when I change grips, I have a little beep.
Yeah. My question is, as far as when you guys get booked for acts, where do you normally or not normally, what kind of situations have you found yourself in? Who normally ends up booking you? And for, I guess, everybody else, where can we find you online or, your personal sites?
You're talking like social security number and phone number and like how do they book them? How do you book these people, right?
Well, you can book me through hellsapoppin.com. You can book the whole show through that. That's the show that I belong to that I'm actually a little bit of a partner on. You can also find me on Instagram, short_E_dangerously. Facebook, Short E Dangerously, as well as my website, shortydangerously.com. All contact info, all that stuff is on there. And I do my best to respond personally to everybody on my social media, so.
Awesome.
Wow.
So, to that point though, if any of you guys have any special talents in the audience, we also take submissions at Ripley's. That's actually how we found a lot of our talent. I know I've worked very closely with Shorty and John creating content, but we have a portal on our website, or you can always email submit@ripleys.com and share your weird, and who knows, you could be up here next year.
Well, theoretically, if the show gets picked up for more, we need
Please
60
email
more stories
submit@ripleys.com.
for the next season. So there's a lot of amazingness out there. Thank you for that question.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Hi, my question's for Angel. How did you get into archery? Like, was it hard for you to start in the beginning?
Yeah, so I wasn't always interested in archery, and being someone who was born without my arm, I didn't get to try a lot of activities. Typically when someone loses a limb, right, they know what they like, so when they get a prosthetic device, they know what they can start with. I was a big Hunger Games nerd pre-being in the film, because it's part one, obviously further down the line. So I love Katniss, I love the idea of that. So when I tested that arm for the government, they asked me, what are some things that you've never tried in the traditional sense, not like an adaptive task? And I put archery on that list. So when we were testing what the arm could do, besides crush things, archery was one of those things that I learned to do with that arm. And when the testing was over, I tried to figure out how I could do it with my current prosthesis, with activity devices, and yeah, it's not easy. I get it a lot online where people are like, do you have an advantage? You know, because you have wrist rigidity and this. I'm like, there's a lot of impact coming back into my residual. So no, I'm not like, you know, running on cheetah blades or anything. But yeah, it was a little bit difficult to get started, but once I figured it out, I have a friend in the audience too who wears a prosthesis, and he's also gotten into archery now. And you know, I think it just takes one person.
Is that his lightsaber over there?
Yeah, right, there he is. Dual lightsabers. There's my bud. Everybody say hi.
Sorry.
But yeah, it's been fun, and it definitely has taken some time to learn and get used to it, but I think it's been really rewarding and exciting, and I really just love I shoot recurve, not compound, so I like the adjustments and all that. So yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Are there any others?
Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. Sorry.
I do other sports.
Sorry, ma'am. There's too many other people behind you in line waiting to ask questions. Come on back, ma'am. Come on back. Come back, please. Yes. It's all right. And then we can just open it up to everybody after this.
My
Yes.
next question was, are there any other physical sports you want to try?
Oh, okay. There's other sports that I do. I do like kickboxing and stuff like that, and I do yoga. Yeah, I've never tried tennis.
I think she's talking like arm wrestling. You know,
Yeah.
I mean,
This is expensive, Bruce, okay? Gotta be careful.
I'll go up against the arm.
Yeah, arm wrestling?
Sure, just saying.
Yeah. I think this sounds weird, but bowling, and I'm gonna explain to you why that would be.
Yeah.
Because of how the digits are created, it is difficult to put your fingers into something like that. So I think having better articulation with the fingers would lead to like being like, if I want to learn to do this sport, then they have to make the hands better, which I'm always trying to push them to make the hands better. So yeah, I think that would be it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Hi, this is a question for John or Gino.
Yes.
Hey, I actually used to do a bit of, sorry, the echo is messing me up. I used to do a lot of pro wrestling around the New England scene, just like indie, and know some guys that you might know. I was worrying about the booking situation in New England, like if it was possible to get you a seminar for some people.
In New England? Seminar?
Yeah, specifically around Massachusetts. Like
Yeah.
there's a show in September, on September 14th in Newton.
Are you available? Are you available
for that?
Facebook me, brother. You Facebook me.
Richard Knight, yeah, I
I
Facebook
know.
you.
You drove from California? Facebook friends? Right here, brother. You and you.
We're already
We're
Facebook
good.
friends, do you know? Yeah.
Man, you guys should go out tonight. You guys should go out.
We should.
Thank you.
All right, thank you for that non-question. You know what? If you got a question, just put your hand up. We're just going to grab it because there's no guarantee that the spotlighted questions are worth a damn. Come on, go ahead. Right here. Yeah, stand up. Sure, question for me. I can't do anything as amazing as these people. Thanks for asking that question. I got the answer. I found a special way to cut bananas. Go ahead and laugh. When you cut in the morning, put some bananas in my cereal, they go like this. Doom, 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 doom. They all line up right on top of each other. And you go to eat your little spoon, and they go, and they're all stuck together. So I took my little knife out. I went, I'm gonna cut opposite diagonal slices of different sizes, and I'm gonna rotate the banana as I do this. No piece is the same as the other piece that falls. They land on each other, it goes, I don't know where to go. And it goes off to the side. My bananas do not stick together, sir. Huh? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yep. Try that, Hammerhead.
I might try that with the lightsaber attachment.
See, now that was a great question, right from the audience. So be empowered, ask a question. Yes, over there. Stand up, please. No, you're not going anywhere. You're going to stay right there. We can hear you. How did I get into the new season as opposed to the old seasons? Dean Cain had it last. He had to flame out first, and then I'd take over. No, I like Dean. No, Dean and I are pals. We meet in the green room of these conventions all the time. Anyway, how did I get involved in it? They checked my availability. Everybody always thinks there's some amazing story. They called my agent. Ed Campbell, I want to do Ripley's. Hey, Bruce, you want to do Ripley's? Yeah, let's do Ripley's. Okay, so here I am. It's not that complicated. But thanks. That was almost worth diving into the audience for. Yes, over here. Stand up. Hobbies. Hammerhead, what the hell do you do for a hobby?
A carpenter.
You do what? You're a carpenter.
Yeah.
And I don't need a hammer.
It is.
Come on, what's the joke? You know?
I like to eat.
Okay, so you like having a good time.
Good times, right? Good times. Ripley's good times, right?
Yeah, all right. Jordy, what do you do when you're not doing crazy shit?
Same answer.
Like, do you write letters home? I mean, what do you do that we would be surprised by?
I don't
raise
know.
bunny rabbits? What do you do?
It's kind of a. I mean, I play a lot of video games, a lot of simulation games, just for my own personal amusement. The thing is, when I'm on the road, I'm interacting with people constantly, and I love it. I enjoy every second of it. But when I'm not on the road, my goal is to do as little as possible. Because every night we are literally torturing ourselves for other people's entertainment, you know, with the glass and all that. So a lot of mental rest, a lot of physical recovery, healing.
Did we have a hobby? Did we decide?
Oh, no.
Or did you just live a hollow life?
No, I do lots of stuff. I like to travel.
Travel.
Yeah,
Good
absolutely.
thing, huh?
Yeah, I go everywhere. Well, I mean, TSA hates me, but I do like to travel. It's not an easy thing, but yeah, I'll literally would love to go anywhere that anyone would like to bring me out. It's great when they pay for you to go there. I will go anywhere that they want me to go. It's fun. Yeah, traveling for sure.
Okay, excellent.
That's it. That's what
we
I
can
got.
take more random questions. Right there. Please stand up. Technically, well, let's see how good your questions are. Okay, well, we can go right down the line.
Okay, so there's currently a hand that's supposed to come out later this year that I'm about to start testing. So I know that's kind of a cop-out, but it's got a whole bunch of really cool features that if it does what it's supposed to do is gonna be really awesome. So that's what I'm gonna pick.
Right on. You need like a logo. You need to, like a Nike swoosh. You need to put your name on a shoe. It's like a shoe.
Oh,
like
I cover up the logos. They have logos over all these hands.
Oh, got
You can pay for my advertisement. How about that?
Nicely said, nicely said.
The most favorite thing I had ever broken over my head. All right, no, probably I'd have to say, right now I hold the world record for having cement blocks broken over my skull by bowling balls dropped 10 feet in the air, so I have 40. So I think that would be my favorite.
You're working with that one.
Because I got a medal for that. I got a trophy for that.
How does the worst become favorite? That's just sort of what you do.
Yeah,
I will say we have 8 cinder blocks outside our activation at Petco Park waiting for you today after the panel.
Oh, joy.
Oh, surprise.
Man, and I got an old wall in my backyard I just can't get rid of, so.
I'm your man,
Okay.
baby. I'm your man.
All right. Thank you for, did we get to everybody?
Shorty.
Shorty?
Last year, I had the opportunity, Hell's Poppin' had the opportunity to open up for the heavy metal band Avatar. I don't know if anybody knows who they are. So they literally took us around the world. We did 60 shows in 120 days with those guys, North America and Europe. And I have to say, I love touring in Europe because I'm a rock and roll guy, and European fans know their flippin' metal. And it's such a culture over there. Every city we were in, there were kick-ass rock and roll bars we'd go party at after the shows. Europe is so much fun and so beautiful, and the people are really cool. So I'd have to say Europe, as long as it's a rock and roll tour. Oh, you're welcome.
Yes, right there, please. Please, go ahead. Stand up, stand up.
What did you say? Slowly, because I get.
What is the
shit ripped over
smallest
my head over
surface
here.
area, like a pin? Right, because you wouldn't slam your head on a pin, right? Or would that be, would you
No,
bend it?
no.
Well, you do nails.
Well, I do
He
nails.
does
yeah.
nails,
Well,
sir.
yeah. Sir, I do nails.
Do nails.
Well, yeah, the nail head can get small. A pin, what?
Are you trying to cripple
How small-
our
how
panelists
small-
up here?
What is the smallest thing I ever put through a wooden board? Like,
With your head.
with
With
it
your
would
head.
probably be, I don't know, a tiny 16D nail.
Now, sir, is that tiny enough
I know,
for
is
you?
it tiny?
All right. Thank you.
Oh, if I, another record I hold is I have the world record for driving 38 nails through a wooden board in 2 minutes. But I also have the 1 minute record, which actually broke me up. So if you ask me how I bleed, if I continually hit the same spot with a hard object, the skin's going to give way before my skull gives. See, and that's what I always have to be careful of when I do my strongman performances, because no one really wants to hire anybody if they're going to bleed all over everything. No, I like it. Feels good.
He's different from you, sir. He's different. Yes, right over here.
Yeah, so I've got a journalism background. I went to school for journalism and actually started by writing the Ripley's cartoon. So I went in, I was technically the researcher. Actually, there's only been about 5 researchers and 7 illustrators in the Ripley history, starting with Norbert Perwath, who really did all of Ripley's legwork. So I started doing that cartoon and started working on the book side and just kind of developed into content as you start to know the brand a little bit more, and yeah.
Organically is the answer.
Yeah.
Yes. Back there, sort of. Sure, yeah, you. Nice and loud. Yeah, I like hearing that nice and loud. That's why I asked you to repeat it. Sorry, what was your question?
Yeah, that's really cool. Actually, in the show, we usually try to go back to some older Ripley archival footage that we recently found in our warehouse. So we have kind of those tiebacks in the show, but also in our books, we do a segment called Ripley's Revisited, where we do kind of do those parallels. I think it just really modernizes and takes it back a bit.
I'm up for doing another episode of something.
The Shorty Show.
Oh, yeah, Mr. OOO. Sure, what you got?
Yeah, how would we fit into it?
I think we'd know how I'd fit into it.
I think you're right.
They would all fit perfectly into your personal dream world, sir. Yes, right over here. Shorty.
I can't play any instruments at all. I mean, I could maybe scream a lot. So, I mean, I'm up for it, you know. If the opportunity presented itself, I'd give it a shot. I've done music videos with, you know, other bands before. I just did a video with Texas Hippie Coalition back in May. Came out, and we were really proud of it because in less than a month it had 1 million views. So we were pretty stoked about that.
Right on. Yes, back over here. Someone's saying stop, stop, look over there. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I want to give a big round of applause to these amazing people. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming. We saw the kooky cars. Go see the cars across the way and get your driver's license, but you have to get it sideways across there. The booth 4015, you get shrunken head air fresheners, and nothing smells as good as a shrunken head. They've been personally tested. So we're on Sundays, 9 o'clock on a channel you can actually find, the Travel Channel. Thank you for coming, everybody. Appreciate your time. Thank you very much. Thank you.